What is going on, people? This is BM Brian Martin United. So I know I said that I was going to wait until probably the weekend, maybe Friday at the earliest, to do a match preview slash prediction. And yeah, I lied about that. Here I am again in your face. This time with a new show. Um, so yeah, here we go. I was seeing, all the action on X and all that stuff, or Twitter, and just hearing some of the Rabiot and Garnacho and Camavinga and Baleba and other stuff, news, and I had an idea down here which I'll discuss in a minute. This 3-3-3-1 thing, which I wrote "Hear me out" next to it. So please hear me out on that. Anyway, if you were just joining um, and seeing the channel here, hit that like button and please subscribe. I try to interact. Again, obviously a small fledgling channel, so you will definitely get lots of interaction. You might be the only person I talk to. So yeah, get involved. But anyway, let's jump into it. I try and keep these short. So Rabiot, first of all, well, first let me drag my notes up here so I can actually read them in front of you, huh? How about that? Rabiot, tired of it. Tired of it. Like, how many times has it been now that we've been linked to this guy? I mean, look, solid player, but like, can we just stop this? Like, I feel like we should be able to sue every time this guy gets linked to us. I don't know who we would sue. I don't know if it's him or his mom, who's his agent, or somebody in the press, somebody, but we should be able to like get some like financial compensation for like the amount of times this guy's been linked to us. I mean, that might help us, actually land Baleba or something. So yeah. And look, honestly, like my problem with Rabiot, and I know I put out a tweet earlier. I think I said, "Hey, hey, ho, ho, just say no to Rabiot." Um, Obviously that was joking. I have no problem with him personally. I don't know the guy, but as a player, I just think he's looking for a payday, and that's not us anymore. That shouldn't be us anymore, right? Like we had our time of giving players paydays who were too close to 30 or past 30, and it didn't work out for us. See where we are now. So yeah, just not for us. I mean, and look, the problem isn't the asking price. I mean, 13 million pounds at 30 years old for a player like him, it's not terrible. But I mean, that's probably something that like a mid-table Spanish side would do, right? But not us, right? Not for what we're trying to do. So let's just go ahead and just like squash that. Camavinga. So I have watched him play a fair bit watching Real Madrid. I think he is a great player. I would definitely sign him. I mean, he's young. He's 22, so still plenty of years in the tank. He's versatile. The guy can play, attacking mid, center mid, defensive mid, left back, center back. I mean, the guy is everywhere. If you need him to, model some of our Manchester United gear, apparently he can do that too. He's walked a few runways, so the guy can do it all, right? So, I like that about him. He'd probably come in about 200K a week. Um, I think that's about what it works out to. 200K, maybe a little less than that. Um, just looking at his current Real Madrid contract, which I think runs until 2029, something like that. But as you've seen, he's hasn't been favored past couple seasons. Obviously, Ancelotti is gone now. Xabi Alonso is there. Um, so we'll see. But warning, for now is a good time to try and tempt them. Obviously, the news has been going around that United is kind of sounding that out. So I will second that. Um, on trying to sound out Camavinga. Excuse me. My only concerns though are over his injury record. He seems to have lost a bit of form since when he first joined Madrid. He kind of hit the ground running. I think his debut, he came off the bench and scored. And then his Champions League debut, he assisted like a game-winning goal or something like that. So, you know, he hit the ground running. But I think since then, he's fallen off a little bit. And he's had a couple of injuries, which, again, is a little bit of concern. But maybe a change of environment will do him some good. Maybe we can bring him to Manchester, show him all the sunny beaches. No, I'm kidding. But, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe he just needs a change of atmosphere. Maybe we can provide that change of atmosphere. He can come and do a job for us and be a good signing. We can move him around. Maybe we can build different formations with him in the squad, right? It'll open this up a little bit. So, I would love to see us land him. I don't think it's likely, but hey, who knows? Um, and honestly, like when I was looking, I think his asking price would be something like 60 million pounds, maybe a little less. Um, and that kind of leads me to my next topic, actually, which is Garnacho. So pretty sure he's going to Chelsea, right? But Chelsea need to cough up the dough. I think so far we've been seeing the figure of what 25 million pounds or something like that is what Chelsea's offering, which I think is way below. And the reason why I segued from Camavinga to Garnacho is because I feel like Garnacho is just as valuable as Camavinga. And like I said, Camavinga is going for probably 60, 70 million pounds in this market anyway. Um, I think Garnacho is every bit that 60, 70 somewhere in there. So, you know, I would hate for him to sit there on our books and for us to not use him. But I'd rather keep him and just pay him out and maybe drag him back in occasionally when we really, really need bodies. If we hit an injury crisis, then let him go for 25 million. I think that is well below what he should be going for. And if we do that, we'd be setting a bad precedent. Because I mean, we've been mugged up before in the transfer market, selling players for way too little money. Um, so yeah, I mean, we got to do what the other clubs are doing, right? Like we got to put a serious price tag on our assets, right? If we're gonna put them up for sale, we need the funds. So anyway, watch this space, I guess, with Garnacho. We'll see what happens. There's a few weeks left, I think, in the transfer window, something like that. So we'll see. We'll see. Um, no, I had a thought about Baleba, which is my next item here. I know that Ineos is, taking the reins for the most part, but the Glazers are still there. And sometimes, Ineos can pull some stunts, right? We've seen it. So I had a thought. I thought, what if this Baleba bid was just to quiet the fan base? What if there was never really any intention of getting him, but it was just to say, okay, look, we've got these summer signings. We know you all want Baleba. We can't afford him, but we will throw a bid at it just to say we tried, right? Because the bid was like, I think something stupidly low, I believe. Um, and everyone from what I read was like, look, like there's no way that bid's gonna get it done. So I wonder if it was that, or to give Ineos credit, maybe it was our way of tapping up Baleba for next summer. That way, making the deal easier. When you've got a player pushing to leave, the clubs tend to come to the table a bit more, I think. So maybe that was a smart little move by Ineos. Maybe they knew that Baleba wouldn't come this summer, or Brighton wouldn't come off of Baleba this summer, and so they're like, okay, we'll just we'll tap them up. We'll just say, hey, we're coming for you. So you start pushing on your end, and so now hopefully Baleba will be professional while he continues to play for Brighton. But maybe, just maybe, uh, you know, he'll kind of, whisper in the background like, "Hey guys, I'm doing well," right? Maybe get a little gentleman's agreement going and say, "Hey, I'm playing well. I'm producing for Brighton. I want to go to Manchester United next summer. Please don't slap some crazy valuation on me. Please let me, go for a fair price, a price that'll help you out because you've, done for me, but also a price that they can afford so I can go on and play there, right? And I'll put in a good word for you amongst other up and coming players from my respective country or something like that. I don't know. I don't know exactly how it works. I'm kind of spitballing here, but maybe that's what it was all about. Who knows? Anyway, completely jumping off of that. Actually, no, not jumping off of that. Not jumping off of that. Segueing from Baleba into my final item here, the 3-3-3-1. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Looks crazy. Looks bizarre, right? But what I think is three center backs, three midfielders, three tens, or you could say two tens with a very advanced cam, and then a striker. The reason why I segue from Baleba into that is first, I don't like seeing Bruno in the midfield. He's not a center mid. That's not his role. I don't think he's great at it. I think he has nearly costed us a couple times playing in that role. He drops deep to get the ball, which is fair play, fine, but he makes risky passes back there. I saw it a couple times in this last match, and I saw it a couple times before when we tried him there in midfield. He will make passes that you can make further up the pitch, sure, in the attacking half or attacking third, but you can't make it back there in the defensive third. You have to be solid and sure, and that's not his game. So I don't like seeing him there. Some folks will say, "Oh, pair him with Manu, and Manu can sit back." I don't really think that's Manu's game either. I think Manu is much better push forward, like in a 10 roll or a cam roll or something like that. I mean, matter of fact, what we got, what, seven tens or something like that? Anyway, it's on top of the dome there. Um, so what I would think would be, okay, three center backs, three midfielders, that central midfielder that maybe kind of sits back a little bit is a Baleba type figure or Baleba himself. The three in front of that would be like Bruno and then Cunha and Mbumo in front, and then Shesko up top. I think that could work for us because the other thing that I saw over the weekend was whenever, and I said this in my last video too, whenever we got down to the other end of the pitch and we were dumping in crosses and whatnot, or we're trying to attack, it just seemed like we were woefully outnumbered by Arsenal. I mean, I saw plenty of times where either Dorgu or Dallo would get down there, look for a cross, and like Mbumo and Cunha either just kind of weren't quite there, or only one of them was pushed up for whatever reason. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I just remember a couple of times sticking out in my head, and I'll go back and watch it. Maybe I missed something, but I just remember a number of times sticking out to me where we would get down there to cross it, and there was like no one to cross it to, or like one person to cross it to. So I think we need more numbers in the box. I think Bruno is good at making that late run. He's got a good strike on him. He can be clever and whatever, cheeky around the box. Tight play with Mbumo and Cunha and all that stuff. And then obviously, you got Shesko up there knocking bodies around. He's a big guy. I just think if we had that kind of core pushing forward to attack, we'd be a lot better. But with Bruno sitting in the midfield role, dropping too deep to get the ball, and then Cunha and Mbumbo still kind of figuring it out. I just think having his presence up there to maybe dictate a little more, guide and direct, be in and amongst it, I think that would help us a lot more. And so to do that, I think we need like a Baleba type in that mid three to kind of do a lot of the running and chasing down and winning the balls and duels and things. Again, might be a crazy thought. You might think I've lost it by saying that, but that's just what I think. That's my idea. Who knows? Um, but all knows that we need more players going forward and getting in the box because I think we would have had higher quality chances and probably beaten Arsenal at the weekend. Um, so yeah, that was my rambling at you. I just wanted to get that out. Wanted to cover some news. Um, I'm not going to make any promises this time because last time I said, oh, I'm just going to do a prediction next time, or I'm just going to, do a live stream. So I might do news again tomorrow. I may not. We'll see. I mean, if there's anything that breaks, obviously I'll jump on and talk about it. But if not, you'll see me at some point this week. Again, please like and subscribe. I am also on X or Twitter at BrymartUTD, BrymartUTD. That's me right there. That rhymes. Start of a rap career right there. And yeah, that's it, guys. Quick one. I will see you on the next video, which will probably be, no, let me not say it. I almost said it. I almost said it will probably be a prediction, but we'll see. Anyway, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.